Our film is revolved around the thriller theme, more specifically around action thriller. This means our intro to our movie will be jam-packed. We were inspired by the action thriller movie Hannah. The movie involves a female heroine character who plays amongst a variety of men who attempt to track her down. This made us choose our hero figure to be female, as not many movies use a female figurehead. We decided to take on gender imbalance, having a variety of male roles, the two kidnappers and the boss, compared to just on female lead role. In addition, our media product has developed on the film noir style. For example, our product has developed on the idea that the female character is the most powerful, but still feminine and badass, but no longer innocent. Our female character deflects the villains by taking their gun and therefore having the upper hand. This makes our movie intro seem more in favour of men when in fact our version of a superhero is female. For the mise-en-scène, we were interested by the movie Snatch. They use stereotypical mise-en-scène, for example the gypsies on a caravan site, boxer in a boxing ring club, and a boss in an office. This gave a sense of what the characters' traits are just by their setting. However, in the spirit of the thriller films such as Clockwork Orange, we wanted to distort our characters' traits in the intro, so not much is given away, but there is a sense of understanding. We chose our location to be in the south of England, in a small private yard surrounded by faced fields and cobble. This gives the viewer an idea of the film taking place in a remote location, but to our advantage they are unsure as of where, therefore setting a sense of mystery. However, the idea that the female is the stronger character challenges the traditional thriller film conventions, as they're usually killed or needs a male to save them. Furthermore, our media product develops the ideas from Pulp Fiction. For example, when the male leads are in suits, shirts and ties, and we have used this in our product. For the lighting, we chose everyday light, as in most thriller films the action happened through the day. However, thriller films and intros do tend to use night as an advantage, throwing choppy shots around to create tension. Unfortunately, due to restrictions, we weren't able to do so. Therefore, to compensate, we used a variety of day shots, such as weeds and old bridges, to suggest growing anger and insecurity, the heart of most characters in thriller films. Our intro features two to three types of people. Firstly, the young adult female heroine. We used a white teenage female to play the role. It's clear she's of British or American origin, though it is unknown in the intro, but further into the film itself, this will become apparent. Our heroine has no physical nor mental disabilities, however we show she has a weak spot through the shot of her bound together in the boot. This makes our main character relatable, as kidnapping could happen to anyone, but we all have weaknesses. However, our character presents a strong sense of feministic qualities, such as fighting for her rights and independence when she rises from the boot and stands in a strong stance behind the man with a gun in her hand. She is not a stereotype of a weak female. She is strong, as seen in the intro, and knows how to get out of trouble. Our second character is a kidnapper. He is presented as a middle-aged business class man. However, due to limitations, played by a fairly convincing male teenager. He is presented smartly through his attire, black trousers, shirt and tie. This creates a seemingly good sense of the stereotypical businessman. We chose a brunette in particular and a blonde partner in crime. Due to stereotypes, normally the brunette being the brains and the blonde being the follower. We wanted to give him a sense of seriousness, but not to have a scary facade, because he doesn't really get internally what he is doing. He is simply the middleman. Lastly, our final character is a kidnapper again. A male teenager plays this role, however this is fitting, as he is like the trainee understudy for the first kidnapper. His baby face-like features give him a sense of being immature, and the blonde hair stereotype suggests he may not be that bright. He is a typical teenage lad from a British origin who got caught in the wrong crowd. He is the comedy in our intro because of the mistakes he makes. He is simply the brunette's sidekick. We stereotyped our kidnappers to be male, as most people assume that kidnappers are males after females. We decided to use this to our advantage to give the viewer a small sense of knowing, but for this knowing to be taken away when our female heroine dominates without without the need of an alpha male figurehead. Ideally, we would try to promote our intro that would develop into a movie through social networking on Twitter and Facebook, revealing 20 to 30 seconds of sneak peek videos to entice our audience to purchase tickets to see the whole movie. As we are limited to things like YouTube, we'd post it on there and share through social media to get views, but if we could have it on a bigger scale, we promote it through TV first, then move on to huge mainstream cinema companies such as Odeon. This means promotion would help us be able to put our intro into several cinemas, and for the future when our cinema time ran out, we'd hope to put it on online movie stores such as Netflix, so a vast majority of people could still watch it and promote it despite it not being out in cinemas. After time, we'd expect it to appear on TV as movies for afternoons on channels like Channel 4 and Film 4, still promoting, however slowly quieting down. We'd still promote over social medias through hashtags and such in order to still receive some kind of profit. And if it even came to it, we would produce merchandise and sell it through sites to create another profit margin. Social media is essential as it has become a part of everyday life. People are more likely to check Facebook than they are news, so ideally places such as Facebook and Twitter are gold mines for minimalistic advertising. Our target audience will also use social media a lot, therefore we can slip it right under their noses easily, and they will notice and hopefully co-promote us through sharing our advertising. The audience for our media product would be majorly female due to the use of a female heroine. A large proportion of our movie would be feminine, which may not appeal to men, however, as it is a thriller, death, gun and sex fall into this category, which may attract male viewers. Female heroines are also seen as attractive, therefore males may be interested and attracted to the lead characters. Our intro is a thriller, therefore we aren't aiming it at families with young children due to violence. However, we probably make it a 12 or 15 plus rate, as it does not necessarily scare viewers, it is simply creating anticipation, therefore it is not too graphic. Some feedback which we have received is to add a variety of music and sound to keep interest. Therefore we have played with our diegetic and non-diegetic sound to create a sense of physically being there. We have stylised our main character to appeal to girls who we researched through UK tribes. We don't want to make her seem like a bra who is smothered in designer apparel, but instead try to make her mainstream so she is relatable to our younger target audience. We also created a survey on quick surveys in order to get our target audience's opinion straight from them. We shared it through social media, which more preteens, teenagers and young adults use, therefore giving us an advantage as they are our target audience. I think our media product attracted our audience through the characters. The characters were a similar age and social group to our audience, therefore our audience would be able to relate to the characters on some level. The costumes of the characters were a combination of mainstream and smart casual. I think this attracts our audience of young adults and teenagers because it is similar to how they would dress and therefore appeals to them. Some characters used the slang version of proper English. This meant that older people would be less likely to follow the plot, but young people would understand better because it would reflect their own speech. The editing, camera work and music were very mainstream in the way that it followed the stereotypical views, therefore appealing to hardcore thriller fans. In addition, the location addressed the audience of the middle and working class because the start of the sequence you can see the villains travelling through the neighbourhoods and towns as well. This means that a larger class audience would appeal to our product as more people could relate. Our generation of 16 to 17 years could be attracted as the theme of this generation, females being independent, strong and equal rights with men. I have learnt while editing on Sony software and using cameras to ensure that I have filmed over 60 shots because while editing you cut and shorten your clips. However, the use of black screens are useful in building suspense and mystery, therefore keeping the audience waiting. Furthermore, the use of black can make a shot smoother in the space between the shots. On the media software Sony, you want to ensure that all your clips are saved in the same place, or else you could lose part of your opening sequence. When downloading music from the internet, you have to ensure that it's not copyrighted, and this makes it harder to find good suspense building music. I learned this by finding a website that specifically targets non-copyright thriller music and sound effects. In conclusion, I learned from the media software that if clips are shaky, you can apply a filter over it to ensure that it's less shaky. By doing this, it makes the film look more professional. For our preliminary task, we had to produce a short, non-specific set of shots that showed off our camera techniques and skill, which compared to our product now, is fairly different due to planning and preparation. For our preliminary task, we didn't have to research much as we weren't trying to appeal to a certain audience. However, with our intro project, we had to plan specifically who our target audience was. This meant using sites like UK Tribes to get a feel for what audience we had to appeal to. This enabled us to progress the knowledge of knowing who we can make movies, intros or trailers for, and gave us a wider understanding of audiences out there outside of our social circle. It also took us a lot longer to plan each shot in our intro than it did for our preliminary task. This is due to the time difference. Our preliminary task was roughly 30 to 45 seconds, whereas our intro is around 2 minutes and 20 seconds, meaning more planned shots. Planning our preliminary was simple. However, our intro took longer and more discussion. We learned through this that we all had a variety of ideas, but we would have to settle, meaning we all agreed and it had to fit